Hey everyone, it's been such a long time since my last YouTube video. I know. How's everyone? Is everyone doing good? If you're new here, my name is Alicia Rashid, and yeah, I did this crazy thing where I flew to Korea. From Malaysia to Singapore, my flight had like 20 people, most of them landing in Singapore. So I had to transit in Singapore and I had to transit for 2 hours. Singapore Airport, Singapore Airlines, I don't know, is also handling this situation very well. It's not easy. We're very well kept in the transit area. We can't roam around freely in the airport. So, and I think they organize it really well. And then going from Singapore to Korea, my flight had about 30 people, I think. I'm still processing it all. I just landed yesterday, so it's still very overwhelming even for me. But let me just tell you guys what happened and how it even happened. Trust me, this isn't just like a last minute thing. It isn't something that I can do in such a short time. This has been planned and has been in the works for about since last year, for months honestly, and it is a lot of work, a lot of documentation, a lot of paperwork, a lot of permission forms. So the first thing to clarify is that I'm here for studies. So I'm on a long-term study visa for a 1-semester exchange program, and yeah, I'm here for 1 semester only, so that will be about half the year. Obviously I'm taking English literature here as well. It is so much work and so stressful to even get to this point. There were a lot of paperwork, so many of them. I had to go to the Korean embassy, I had to do my visa interview, I had to finish my semester before I fly. Like, it is not even finished, but I had to finish it early because I want to fly. So yeah, it is so much work, and alhamdulillah I managed to go through it all. So right now I'm in my 14-day quarantine. It is mandatory. Honestly, the immigration process, just from Malaysia to Singapore to Korea, it was so smooth. I'm very grateful. Alhamdulillah, everything went very smoothly. The process was so efficient by Korean government, so efficient, so like amazing. Like, I'm still thinking about it. Everything was so well taken care of. The Korean immigration really impressed me. All of them were very friendly and helpful. They made us go through like stations, like 5 stations, to just like give our documents, our visa, and cross-check whatever they need to. So they made us install this app called Corona app, I think. So this app basically tracks our location, and it is to make sure that we stay in our quarantine house and we don't roam around, because if we do, they can tell. They will track our phone. Even if you leave your phone and then you roam around, they can still tell, because the phone has motion sensor. So whenever the phone doesn't move for quite some time, it will send a warning and it will alert the government. So it's very strict, and honestly, it's very efficient, and I'm very impressed. So basically what the app does, other than tracking us, is that we have to self-diagnose ourselves twice a day. So we have to check our temperature twice a day and then give them any symptoms that we have, tell them if we have any symptoms or not. So they will remind us to self-diagnose twice a day. It will send a notification on your phone. So yeah, it's very convenient. I didn't even have to download the app. The officers did it for me. They put in my address, they put in my number, they put in everything for me. I think my experience when I first landed in Korea and the immigration process and everything was so good. Like, it was such a good first impression. The immigration officer even like talked to me. He was like, oh, you're from Malaysia. I used to live in Malaysia for 6 months. I used to study at Australian International School there, and I was like, oh, that's great. And then he was like checking my passport. He was like talking to me about Malaysia, and then suddenly, like after he finished checking my passport, he's like, oh, you know, is it a thing in Malaysia where you say lah at the end of every sentence? Because I used to do it and I can't stop doing it. It's very funny. And I was like, wow, that is such a random information. And I just laughed it off, and I don't know, it's just amazing. They're amazing. Like, they're so friendly and nice. Even the guy who checked my COVID test. Before you fly, you need to get a COVID test, a negative COVID test, to show the Korean immigration. And also, you can't board the plane if you don't have a COVID test. So the guy who was checking my COVID test was wearing a face shield, and he had it like doodled. He put cat whiskers on his face shield, and he's like, oh, good morning, how's your flight, what's your quarantine address? Like, he's so friendly. Like, everyone is just so helpful and friendly, and I just have such a good first impression, and I just felt so welcome when I first come here. So it was really great for me. It was such a great experience for me. And then on the last station, which was the transportation station, what we had to do is we can't just go on public transport because we haven't quarantined. So they have a special bus for us, or a taxi, or we can have someone pick us up. I made sure I got a taxi because I just feel like it's most convenient. So the taxi will bring us to a health center where we will take our COVID test, and then we can go to our quarantine house. If the health center is closed, then we have to go the next day. No matter what, we have to take our COVID test within a day of arriving. So I had mine done right after I land. The taxi driver got me to the health center near my quarantine house. I did my COVID test. It was so funny because I can't speak Korean, obviously, and the guy can't speak English, so we just couldn't understand each other, and I felt so bad. I managed to do my COVID test anyway, so it was fine. It was just funny because he was laughing and he was stressing that I can't speak Korean, but we managed to go through that, so it's fine. My taxi driver is also very nice. He tried to make conversation with me. He talked to me. When I did my COVID test, he was like, is it painful? He was very helpful during the drive. Like, he made sure I brought my passport and all to the COVID test. He made sure that I got the right house. He waited for me to enter before he went off, so it's really nice. I feel like because I'm in quarantine right now, I'm very attached to like the conversations and the encounters that I had before quarantine. Like, I'm very attached to it. Like, I think about it a lot because it's the only real human connection that I made in Korea so far. So yeah, that's how it went. Basically, I get to quarantine in an Airbnb because I have a long-term visa. So if you have a short-term visa, you have to go to the government facility. So right now is my first day of quarantine, obviously, and yeah, I guess you guys want to see how this room looks like, so I'll show it to you guys right now. You see, when you walk in, on the left is the kitchen, and this is the front door right there, and that is the bathroom door. So here is just my snack bar. The kitchen is very complete. There's a washing machine, stove, sink, all that, fridge, microwave. This is the dishes. There's chicken in there. the microwave, the fridge. I'll do a grocery haul if you guys want, and just let me know. So yeah, this is the kitchen, and then in the bathroom we just have the bathroom stuff, just bathrooms. Yeah, it's kind of small, but it's comfortable and amazing. This is where I do stuff like work or just be on my iPad or eat. There's an extra chair. This is my luggage. I covered it up because it's messy. That's where I charge stuff. And here's my bed. So yeah, that's the complete room. I think it's very, very comfortable and amazing, and I love it so much. So it's just a short clip of my room. It's a small house. It's called a tiny house, and it's very, very comfortable. I love it. My Airbnb host is really helpful as well. They're really, really nice. They even let me use their phone number for like some of the forms that I had to fill, and they're super, super nice. And I also got some groceries, as you can see. So if you want to watch a grocery haul, do let me know because I'll definitely do one. All of these are thanks to Misa, my friend who's here. She ordered the grocery for me before I even arrived in Korea. So when I arrived, it was already there, just for me to use. Thank you so much, Misa, for that. Can't live without you. Honestly, I'm here because of you. Yeah, so that's all from me, I guess. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye bye.